just freeze your eggs. Like it's so simple. Like everybody can do it. Like it's just an easy backup plan that's guaranteed when it is not simple. It is not guaranteed. It is not even for everybody. Let's talk about it. I want to know who started the rumor that freezing your eggs was the simple thing to do for everyone. For every woman that needs a little bit more time, they need to find a decent man up out here in these streets. Like, it's just so easy to do. Who started the rumor? Because they lied. First of all, freezing your eggs is not a simple process. Let's talk about what it is, actually. Freezing your eggs, you got to have hormone injections. You got to go under for them to take your eggs out and then freeze them. That's the fastest way I can explain this. That's what freezing your eggs is. Hormone shots, I think you got to take for like 2 weeks. So your emotions are going to go up and down. You're going to get bloated. It's all kind of stuff. And then you have to go under. That means they're going to knock you out while you sleep. They go in, take the eggs out, freeze them. Usually reasons why women want to freeze their eggs, it could be because they haven't met someone, but they want to make sure they have fresh eggs when it comes time for them to meet the right person and they want to have a baby. Some of them want to put their careers first, but they want to, put their eggs in a safe place where they can use them where they can use them later. Some women, they may have a medical reason. For example, if they have cancer and they have to go through chemo treatments, they may want to put their eggs and freeze them so that their eggs can be preserved, because sometimes cancer treatments can harm your eggs. So women with endometriosis, there's multiple reasons why women may want to freeze their eggs. However, there's like a physical and emotional toll that comes with freezing eggs. And it's also the financial part. Let's talk about the physical and emotional toll. So physically, you do have to get hormone shots, right? And not everybody's comfortable going to sleep because some people fear that they may not wake up. And that's also totally normal. The hormone shots can cause a range of different emotions that you go through. For those couple of weeks, you have to take your hormone shots. And then you have to go under the knife for them to, I wouldn't say under the knife, but they put you to sleep. And then they take the eggs out. They evaluate the eggs. They tell you, what's going on with your eggs. They give a good evaluation. And then the process of having to wait for that. It's not like you wake up and say, okay, here's what's going on with your eggs. It's a process. When they take it out, they evaluate it. And emotionally, it can be a lot. As a matter of fact, they should tell women who are going to freeze their eggs, consider therapy or support group for women that are getting ready to freeze their eggs. Like, this is not an easy process. Let's talk about the cost of this. For the hormone injections, it's between $3,000 to $6,000. I'm not even sure all insurances cover that, by the way. So you can be coming out of pocket for this and may have to pay for it. That's just the procedure to prepare the body to have the eggs taken out. The actual procedure, if your insurance does not cover it, can be between $6,000 to $10,000. Okay, so where are we at? Let's say we're at if your insurance doesn't cover it, we're at $3,000 to actually get the hormone injections and prepare the body for the procedure, and we're at $6,000 to actually get it done. So what is that? $9,000, and you haven't even put them into place yet. Okay, so the hormone injections, the procedure itself, you're looking between $9,000 to $16,000. Okay, that's a whole lot of money, and that's if your insurance doesn't cover it. And also depends on the state. So let's say you have this bucket load of money, and you want to be able to say, all right, I'm gonna pay for this, I'm gonna get this done, and I'm gonna freeze my eggs. Cool. You get the procedure done. Who's gonna keep these eggs for you, boo boo? Do you think you're gonna put them in your freezer at the house? Is that how you think this works? No. To keep your eggs frozen in whatever facility, it can be between $500 to $1,000 a year. So let's just say you're so lucky your insurance covered. Your insurance company covers it. They're not gonna cover you to keep it there. You probably have to come out of pocket for that. Double check. I'm not totally sure. I believe in Georgia, you do have to come out of pocket. But $500 to $1,000 a year ain't too shabby. Wait till tax season, covers your eggs. So what happens if you can't pay for your eggs one year? What happens? There's a lot of political things behind freezing your eggs and IVF and whatever. I don't even want to get into that. But I'm talking about the cost of this. If you don't have $500 to $1,000 $500 to $1,000 a year to keep your eggs frozen, that's a problem. That's a problem. Because what happens to your eggs? Do you go on a payment plan? I don't think they have afterpay. Another thing too is after you put up all this money and all the stress and emotions to get the procedure done, freeze your eggs, this is not guaranteed. Nobody talks about that freezing your eggs does not guarantee conception later on. It doesn't guarantee. Some things, all kind of things can happen in the process of freezing your eggs, unfreezing them, getting them back into your womb, and conceiving later on. This is a whole emotional thing that a lot of women go through and can feel very disappointed. Like, well, I did everything I was supposed to do. Why am I dealing with this? It's because no one talked about it. No one said freezing your eggs can be problematic later on. Because again, it is not guaranteed. And again, you're putting up a whole lot of money up front in order for something not to be guaranteed. It better be freaking guaranteed if I'm coming out of pocket almost $16,000, $19,000. It better be. As a matter of fact, the kid better be here. It better just be here. By the time I go to pick up my eggs, I want a child already. Hand me the baby. Hand me the child. Okay? Because giving birth and going through pregnancy, it's costly too. Okay? So right by the time you have the kid, you $50,000 in the hole. The success rate on frozen eggs depends on the age. It depends on the health of the egg quality, and so much more. And your doctors will talk to you about it if you go down this process. My beef with this whole thing is I feel like it's for the privileged. I'm just going to be very blunt and say that. Because of the priciness, insurance companies most of the time will not cover this. So who has between $9,000 to $16,000 just chilling in the bank? Who has that? Average American? And while I think if you are lucky to have insurance to cover it, still the $500 to $1,000, not bad a year is still pricey for many, because it depends on the time of year and where you're getting this money from. Because the majority of us are from check to check to check to check. And if you're from check to check to check to check, you better start saving to take care of your eggs. But before you advise someone, oh, just go freeze your eggs, be aware it is not a simple process. If it was, why don't we all do it? It would have been simple for all of us to do it. And if it was simple and you do have the funds for it, it's not guaranteed. Because then you could just be telling yourself, okay, I just have my eggs frozen. I can wait for whenever, and then I'll unfreeze them when I'm getting ready. Come to find out, it didn't work out. Because again, egg quality, age, anything could happen during the process of getting the eggs into your womb, and then there go your money. And it's not always about money, but again, it's the mental toll. Like, let's say you have it, and again, them hormone shots, it can be draining, emotionally draining, physically draining, having to go under, getting the eggs out, getting the results. All this is a whole process that can emotionally take a toll on you. So before you go and advise someone, just freeze your eggs, know that there is more to it. If you in fact decide, okay, I want to freeze my eggs, I want you to ask yourself a few questions. One, can I afford it? Does my insurance cover it? How much do I have come out of pocket? Can I commit to paying $500 to $1,000 a year to make sure that my eggs are in good shape? Or my eggs are, that they can hold on to my eggs? I want you to ask these financial questions up front. Do I have emotional support? Because again, sometimes while you're going through the process, emotionally, it can be draining. Who is going to be your emotional support during this process? Also, why am I doing this? Do you believe that you're not going to find someone at whatever age you're ready to have a child? What is the true reason behind why you want to do this? Now, again, sometimes it's for a medical reason, and that makes a lot of sense. It may be worth investing, particularly, let's say you are going through some type of cancer treatment, right? And you want to preserve your eggs for the future. That makes sense. Absolutely. If you can afford it, go for it. Someone with endometriosis, or if they've got blocked tubes, for example, that makes sense. Freeze as many eggs as you can. Because with blocked tubes or ruptured tubes, whatever, you may need to have those eggs later on, particularly if you're going through a fertility process. So I understand that. Absolutely. Medical reasons make a lot of sense. But if it's about putting your career first, that's also a good solid reason to want to freeze your eggs. But I do want you to be honest with yourself as to why. Do you think that having children at a certain age is going to harm your career? And who told you that? Who said that if you have kids at this age, your career is over, you're not going to advance where you want to go? Like, I want you to be completely honest with yourself. Do you think that you need to freeze your eggs because you're not going to find the love of your life? What if you find the love of your life in a week, in a month, next year? So you need to freeze your eggs in case I don't see them in another 10 years. When's the second you put that stuff out there? Then that's what's going to happen. I always say to women like, oh, well, I can't, there's no good men out there. Well, you don't believe there's a good man out there. So why would one come to you? You've already said it. Or all men cheat. Then all you're going to get is a man that cheats. Like, that don't make no sense. So if you are freezing your eggs, I want you to be honest with yourself, asking yourself why. Why am I doing this? Particularly if you know it's going to put a financial toll on you. If you got it like that, my good sis, freezing bad boys, okay? If your insurance company is going to cover it and you know you got that $500 to $1,000 a year, my good sis, go ahead and freeze your eggs. But if this is going to stress you and the reason behind why you're freezing them ain't got nothing to do with like real shit, like that's real hard decisions to make, please think this through. Because there are other ways to preserve your eggs, such as being healthy. That too. And if you are deciding that you want to go through the process before you actually freeze your eggs, get yourself as healthy as possible. Start eating better, drink your vitamins, taking your vitamins, do things that'll keep your eggs good and fresh before you freeze them, and talk to a fertility specialist. See what your options are when it comes to egg freezing, how much it's going to cost, and then decide if this is for me. Whatever decision you make, do it out of confidence, not out of fear. That is not what we're going to do here. And be honest with yourself. And if you're one of those people who have concern for your friend because they're getting older or they want to conceive or whatever the case is, do not throw statements like, oh, just go freeze your eggs if you don't have the facts. Don't go saying stuff like that because it's disappointing to those who think that this is a good option and it's actually not for them. So be aware of what you're saying to others. If you want more fertility tips, go ahead and join my Patreon. That's where I go into more tips and tricks on how to keep your eggs fresh for when it comes time to have a baby. And again, be good to yourself. Meanwhile, Yoni Mack product of the week. This is the Yoni product of the week, the turmeric body wash. What I love about my body wash is, particularly the turmeric one, is it's very excellent for balancing hormones. For my girlies who want to make sure that they're preparing their bodies to have a baby, particularly if you do want to go down the route of freezing your eggs or you want to naturally prepare your body to keep your eggs fresh, turmeric is excellent for the body. Helps with inflammation, helps balancing hormones, and there are no harsh chemicals here. What's excellent about my body wash is it's all natural. And it is for us girlies who are preparing their body to have a baby, for us girlies who are postpartum, for us girlies, period. Especially my ones that are going through menopause. Somebody sent me a message and said, can I buy your products if I'm going through menopause? Yes, my good sis, because guess what? We still need to balance those hormones. And I know you're hot, but it's okay, be cool. But for my girlies who are really getting ready to have a baby, we want to keep our hormones as balanced as possible. So check out yonimack.com. Here it is. Can y'all see this? Wait, hold up. There we go. I hope it's not backwards. But yes, again, my product of the week. Again, use the code at the bottom. And I'll see y'all next time. Meanwhile, be good to yourself, be balanced, and know what is for you will be for you. Fresh eggs.